it's the next day. Got that baler all back together again. And not to be a jerk about this, but I just wanted to document this pickup a little bit. You see, I got an adjustable wrench on this thing. Now I'm coming over to this thing. Timothy baled about 25 bales with it since we put a brand new American-made chain on here. See that? I don't know if you can see it. It's John Deere chain USA right there. As you can see, this thing is slapping like a... It's just slapping. It's pretty useless. 30 bales went through this baler since Timothy put that brand new chain on there. Now, I understand that it stretches. Like one of my YouTubers had commented, or one of my commenters had said, that this year the hay is only 90%. Well, it's not 90%. It's only about 55–60% of what it should be, okay? So 55 to 60% of what it should be does not give me enough volume. I can't hang on to the steering wheel as fast as I would need to be going to choke out this particular machine. This pickup head is just a shitty ass design. As you can see, I have welded in bracing here, and in one of my other videos, this guard on the other side, I made a whole new plate which will stiffen that. And if you look at it, it's 1/8 inch thick. Look, I mean, 1/8 inch thick. That's it. There's nothing else there. As a matter of fact, this is the thickness of it. When I pull this apart, you can see, let me do this now. You can see where I welded that extra piece in here, forward and around the corner to stiffen that up. But that is the actual thickness of that plate. Plus this little 3/8 inch thick there piece of steel. So pretty useless. What I do is, you know, everybody's like, slow down, slow down, slow down. Well, what happened was this bearing here had gone out, and Timothy wasn't listening for that thing to trip. I do not listen to the radio in that tractor, and I do not have a headset on unless I'm talking on the phone, so I can hear what's going on back here. This will slip over top of this chain if it's not tensioned properly. So what you got to do is you got to watch here every single day. You have to tighten this thing at least twice a day because of the stretch from that chain. Now, if you notice that number 60 has an H after it. The normal chain that belongs on this is just a standard number 60 chain. So I have John Deere 60H chain. It's American made. It's on this New Holland baler. But you have to tighten this thing up till you get about an 1/8 of an inch of gap there. And that depresses this automatic tensioner just enough to keep it tense. I'm not over tightening this machine like a lot of people are saying. You're over tightening it, you're causing a lot of damage by over tightening the chain, which is not true. Not true at all. This is not my first trip to the rodeo, for Christ's sakes. As far as you can see, this chain is oiled and greased. It has an automatic oiling system on it. So, come on guys. I'm not abusing it. In the advertisements, hold on a second, let me get this camera around. In the advertisements, and I have the jacket that came when I bought this machine. I went to Belgium and I had a great time there, and my coat said no speed limits. No speed limits. Well, there are speed limits to everything that you do in this world, and speed limit to this thing, I don't know what it is, but there are speed limits. Anyway, I'm back ready to go again. And that, hold on a second here and I'll explain another thing. That part that you saw me fix yesterday, on yesterday's video, has been broken for a long, long time. Yes, I missed it. I'm like, it was throwing a code, low density, low density, low density, and I couldn't get it. I thought it was a sensor problem. Couldn't get anybody from Messix to call me back. I think the guy's name was Walter. He was supposed to call me back. I called him 3 times. 3 strikes, you're out. I'll deal with it on my own. It's obvious you don't want to deal with it. So anyways, yesterday morning, I went in search of that sensor. up on the top. I didn't show it. Up on the top, underneath, through, and I have been getting misshapen bales, which is really weird for this style baler. I shouldn't be getting these. Now, if you see, that side there is square up and down on that bale of hay. This side is sticking out, and it's got a lot more hay at the bottom, and it's actually curving the bale like a banana. And that's not supposed to do that. Well, that side had one of the hooks actually sticking in and out the way it was supposed to work, but the other 4 or 5 were not, causing the hay, allowing the hay to go up into the bale chamber when it was not supposed to, actually sticking just a little bit up in there. And so every plunger stroke, a little bit of hay until it would get enough hay. And it happened a lot during light hay, when I was doing light amounts of hay. Heavy hay, it would get enough pressure to shoot the hay clear up to the top. And you can actually see the line right there. And then it slopes downward to that corner. So a little bit of hay, a little bit of hay, a little bit of hay, and then it would get enough pressure to trip the stuffer, and then boom, it would fill. So that side is filled properly, this side is not, which was actually causing that low pressure sensor switch to come on, or to go off. So I think I've got everything under control now. And that broke a long time ago. I'm telling you, when I say a long time ago, oh shit, no, that was right. When I say a long time ago, I mean probably last year. Why is that thing telling me I got a fly with a shear bolt broke? I'm hoping that goes away when I hit the 600 RPM. Yeah, the bale chute is closed. Alright. Do that. Anyway, so now that it's fixed, you know, it's no big deal. I'm going to go to work and make sure. No, that shouldn't do that. Okay, we're good. Bale chute's no longer closed. Just a little relaxed on the hydraulics. 8120 is obviously still here. Preload sensor. That's what it's telling me. So I'm kind of hoping that that will go away when I get to the field. You know what? See that manual? Hey. Okay, good. Alright, so here we go. We're going to make sure, and that could also be why I was having some of my nodder troubles. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to shut this off now, and when I get to the field, I will show you a couple of bales as they come off the back of the baler. And you can see what I'm talking about, because this bale that's in there right now is kind of effed up, and I will have that straightened out before after the second bale comes out. So I do have quite a bit of hay raked up, so I'm going to be working pretty late tonight. Okay, so this part of this video is going to be showing you the speed that I'm going. Now I'm actually going 6 miles per hour. Yeah, 6 miles an hour. I could probably go faster, because you look at the computer, this graph right here, that is my capacity. I am not at full capacity on this computer. This baler is not running at full capacity. So, yeah, the windrow is pretty big. It's actually been raked up for about 3 or 4 days now. And honestly, it's bone dry, because we haven't had rain now for quite a while. And I'm still not at full capacity. I still seem to have that little sensor issue going on there. It's telling me to steer to the right, but, you know, I know better than to do that, because what that's going to do is create a crooked bale. I believe it's going to create a crooked bale. I may have to do it anyway, just for the sheer fun of it, but, and I probably will. Maybe it'll equal out inside the bale chamber, I don't know. But if you look, well, you're looking right into the sun. Or maybe you guys can see through that too. Yeah, you can. Alright, so you can see through my sunscreen the size of that windrow. I mean, it's really big. I'm still going 5.96 miles an hour. I just dropped a bale. I am not at full capacity. So to all you guys that are telling me that I'm exceeding the limits of the baler, you're wrong. I'm not exceeding the limits of the baler. According to the baler itself, I'm actually far below. I should be able to run this thing at full capacity, which would mean another gear and probably 7 miles an hour, but I don't want to do that because this field is rough. Because we have a dry year this year, it is rougher in these fields than it normally would be. I don't know if most of you know this or not, but you know, the drier it is, the more bumps there are because your tires aren't actually depressing into the soil, which is good for compaction. It isn't going to create any compaction, but, you know, it is what it is, as we say. And I did want to tell you that I have, well, I was going to show you the difference in the bales from one bale to the other, and I think you could see before, but I'm going to actually get out of the baler tractor now and show you this bale that's right here alongside me. What was happening, and I think I showed you in the bale that was actually in the baler before I got started, the bale was not getting filled to the top because of that bar being broken. And what was happening was that what that bar that I repaired me and Carl and Tim repaired yesterday does is it holds the hay down here in the bale chamber. Now because it was broken, those forks were out and that hay was allowed to come up into the bale chamber. And it was putting it at about here before it would trip. So I got hay that's continually flowing until I get enough to depress and trip the stuffer. So I've got this small amount of hay that's coming up here, and then it would trip and throw a wad up in there, but I'm always getting more and more. Well, as you can see, the slices are straight up and down now. So that thing is working perfectly. I couldn't understand for the life of me why it was doing that. I was getting misshaped bales. They were really annoying the crap out of me. But now I'm not even missing knots. I'm not having any troubles not getting funky looking bales. They're tight. They're a little right around 8 feet long. I'm going to step them off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which gives me about 8 feet. There might be a little bit shorter than I'd like them to be. Because I did actually shorten them. They were getting a little bit long on me before, but if they're 8 feet long, that fits the trailer perfectly. And you can put a little more hay in them. So anyways, that's that. The baler's back to functioning properly. And honestly, in all honesty, I do rough service. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably one of the more extreme users of these machines. But New Holland knows they have weak parts in these balers. They know. This is nothing new to them. I've been screaming at them for years. I know a guy by the name of Ray Miller. He's been screaming at him about his baler. And I've gotten quite a few comments from guys that actually own these balers, older models and this model, all complaining about the pickup. So honestly, if New Holland could get their pickup together, they'd have a pretty damned awesome baler. I mean, second to none. This thing would out-bale anything on the market. I know you Krone guys are like, oh no, Krone's better, Krone's better. Well, it's sounding to me like Krone produces a really, really good baler. And I've talked to some guys that have the Krone baler, and all they say is horsepower. It's going to take more horsepower than you've got. Well, this is a 200 horsepower tractor. I mean, it's 200 horsepower. I think it's 189 at the PTO, which, you know, is 10 horsepower more than Krone's minimum requirement. But to be honest with you, with a 1,390 pound flywheel, I think that the hydraulic start, once that thing is rolling, I shouldn't have any trouble. But I don't know. I don't like the fact that I have to buy a new tractor to run a baler, because at that point I might as well, when I put the new pickup frame on this baler, I I might as well do some major modifications to it to make it so that it does what I want it to do, like last, you know? I mean, that's my whole beef. I want this thing to produce, you know, I've got 15,671 bales on this baler, and I find that to be awful low numbers for this baler. I think I should be able to put 150,000 bales through it before I have major issues with it, you know? And like I said, I am an extreme baler. I don't put garbage through the baler, but I do put a lot of material through all the time. You know, it's not alfalfa, it's not clover, it's not lespedeza, it's not second cut orchard grass. This is 3-ton, 4-ton hay, and sometimes it's a little damper than it should be, but this is a silage baler. It's supposed to take up to 80% hay, according to the paperwork. And again, it's not doing it. So I don't know. I'm gonna have Cronin come out, and they're gonna bring me a baler. I'm gonna use it, and hopefully it works. John Deere is supposed to bring their baler out. They're being stingy though. They only want to give me an hour with their baler, which I find to be ridiculous. You can't do nothing in an hour. But you know, hey, what are you gonna do? Beggars can't be choosers. So I guess I'm just a beggar when it comes to these things on a demo. But I think I need a day or two with a John Deere baler to make my determination whether it's going to handle this type of a windrow or not. And like I said, this is, you know, this is 3-ton hay. 3-ton hay in front of me here, and I'm actually going 5 miles an hour, and I'm way under capacity, so I just sped it up into 9th gear, and I'm still not at full capacity, so yeah, whatever. If I go any slower, I'm not going to get my work done, even if I don't break anything, you know. I used to have a New Holland 2000 baler, and I had to go like 3 miles an hour to bale anything, and you know, I didn't get my work done then. But anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you understand this baler a little better now that I've spoken about it. I am upset with some of the things that are happening, but you know, I still feel that it is a formidable baler to other companies. So I'm not completely trashing out New Holland. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more. Obviously, I'm here to stay on the YouTube community no matter how many bad comments I get, you know, so whatever. Anyway, bye.